I just made a mess on Mommy's table.
New rabbit. His name is Moo Moo, and he's blind. Cataractus. It's the little mommy out there. Mommy and the babies. Potato. Mustard and hot sauce. Ground brown rice. And salt and pepper. Mixed together. Cooked in lard. So how are you doing? I am well. Did you have breakfast? I had breakfast. I had coffee for breakfast with, let's see, cold brew coffee filtered through a paper towel, mixed with kale powder, which, by the way, is fucking glorious. So we'll be doing that again. In fact, why don't we just get that ready for tomorrow? I have very hot tap water. Life is too short to not have very hot tap water. Jar. Lid. Rinsed. And how do we get the grounds out of the bag and into the jar? A-handed. Poorly, I say. Poorly it shall be. Let's do poorly. Alright. Maybe if we're careful, we can careful some in there. We're not adequately carefuling here. Alright, that seems like enough coffee. Close her up with my one smart hand. The holding hand is for holding. Alright. And then let's go ahead and kale it up right away. The way our forefathers did, with freeze-dried kale powder. And then we'll hot this and then cold it for a while. Hot Wasser. Ooh, that's hot. That's about it's about yogurt temperature. Alright, there it is. Tomorrow's Vitamix. We'll give her the old rim jobber. And we're just making sure we're going to have good contact with the seal here. Arf, arf. And just give the old armpit treatment. Perfect. And we'll shake her. And we'll leave her sitting on the counter until she gets to room temp. And then we'll put her in the fridge. Back to the potatoes. I hear them singing to me. Singing that song of Cthulhu. So we'll flip them. Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Come on, you. We were cockeyed here and it got us. Nipped us. This evening, I'm going to go out to the ranch and grab some, what am I grabbing? Pine needles for a friend and for myself. I'll make some pine needle compost with pine needles and yard trimmings and chimney chim-chims. Alright, looking good. Just both pine needles are good for strawberries. And I suspect, mind you, they're probably good for other stuff as well. What exactly is in them? A lot of tannic acid. But that starts to work its way out and turn into other things as they decompost. They become more useful to other plants after that. So you can use pine needles. They're a great mulch for keeping competition down if you are aware that they are pretty high in acids, just the way that other mulches like bark mulch are. So keep that in mind. Don't poison your plants. But if you poison them a little bit, they'll forgive you. They're forgiving like that. They're just forgiving. Alright. Looks like these taters are going to need some more time. We've got a couple of things done. And if we don't get too distracted here, we might even get some good taters to go in our chicken thigh and salad soup. So you just take one of those tins of salad and you take a pan of baked chicken thighs and you mash those together and it wilts up your salad for you so you don't have to chew so hard. Because God knows, let's be honest here, salad's a hard chew these days. Just a lot of work. And like, life is short, energy is finite. Spend it on something other than salad. I'm not a deer. Oh yeah, that is a nice bean arbor. You're right about that. Who built that in like one day? Some sexy man. Sorry ladies, he's spoken for by a city girl who barely puts up with his nonsense. But we'll be sticking together. Don't get your hopes up, ladies. This man is taken. Alright. We're just ADDing while the food is cooking, because if I keep looking at it, I'm going to try and glare at it to make it cook faster. And it needs to cook. You got to let that food cook. Let that man cook. We're one-handed sweeping the deck right now, which I think is pretty fast sealed. Oh, we were on a rooftop this morning, and I didn't know I was going to be on a rooftop, but I was for like 3 hours. I got a little bit dehydrated, but before I really got shaky, I got down from there, and we're back to doing other stuff. We're going to find some nice things to do today. It's nap time for the kiddos. One of them is still napping, and yes, the boy did give me a good angry nap time routine. But the madder he is, that's the more tired he is, so he went down pretty hard. I've moved this shelf out here. We're getting like nice things in the living room now, so less room for turds, which means more room for turds outside. I trimmed my lavandula, and these are some of the trimmings. You can see some of them have excess foliage, and then other ones are a little more appropriate. transplants. And we'll just see what they do. It's probably a little hot for transplanting, or for rooting lavandulae, but we'll just see if we can get anything out of these cutoffs, because they're really just trimmings after all. So free money, as the kids say. The kids that watched Terminator 2, the last good Terminator movie. Anyway, I'll bet those potatoes are about done. Welcome to my life, by the way. This is what ADD looks like. If you haven't been initiated, it's not a problem. If you accommodate it, if you learn to live with it, you've got to accept the architecture of your mind. You don't have to accept like the contents, because you can manage that stuff. You can oversee that stuff. But good luck. Like, if you want to change the architecture of your brain without DMT, like, go for it. And just, you know, keep your wits about you and see what happens. And if you're disappointed, then at least you learned something about yourself. You don't have to, like, you don't have to carry that load, my friend. If your brain sucks, like, that's alright. There's more to you than a brain. You got a spirit that was made to live forever, and it will. And the decisions you make are really the treasure that you bring to the table, my friend. So just make nice, kind, good decisions. Potatoes. Alright, ready to dump them? We're going to dump these into our protein soup. Chicken thighs and salad, plus patat.